It is not what a man does that determines whether it is sacred or secular, but why he does it. Motive and motivation are everything. You know who said that? Not me. A.W. Tozer. You know, I just got off a run. Not that you're really interested in about that, but it's true. That's why I'm all sweaty and so glistening, as they say. But I was just thinking, I've been thinking about this for the last few days, and it's been like, it's revolved around what we do, what you do, what I do. And I'm sure you've heard this if you've gone to church or if you've gone to any form of motivational speaking seminar of any kind. They'll say, you know, God's got a plan for your life, and if you just discover what that is, you'll never work a day in your life. Or they'll say something like, the two most important days of a person's life is when he's born and the day he discovers why. So I have wrestled with this thought probably a good amount of my life, a good portion of my adult life. And I've been just looking for, you know, and asking the question, what am I supposed to do? What am I about? What is that thing that's gonna set my heart on fire? And you know something? I've never found it. And you're like, wow, Jensen, that's so sad. And no, don't get me wrong, I'm doing what I like to do. I'm doing what I enjoy to do, but what I do doesn't fulfill my heart's desires. It doesn't set me on fire. It doesn't wake me up every morning saying, hey, I want more. And you know, if you're watching this video and you're saying, hey, I don't agree with that, I've found what I love, and it gives me plenty of motivation to keep going every day, day in, day out. Good for you, man. Let me know in the comments, because I want to get some of that juice. But for the rest of you humans, stay tuned. I've got more. See, I think like many of us in the West, like in Western culture, we spend a lot of our time trying to find that internal drive. And, you know, we go through, you know, we go to conventions, we go to motivational speakers, we go to motivational books, we look up stories of, you know, leaders and all these people just trying to find something that's missing on the inside of us. And here's the thing, none of that stuff is bad. Getting motivation, having a coach, all of that stuff is good. But I recently heard this from someone who said that devotion is going to be stronger for your motivation than determination, willpower, or any external force of motivation. Devotion is the key. And what that really connects to for me is it's not what I do, but it's actually why and to whom I do it for. This video is sponsored by Tecovas. If it's not Tecovas, it's not boots. I'm just kidding. I just like the hat. But hey, one can dream, right? So, hey, Tecovas, if you're listening, if you want to ever sponsor some of my videos, please let me know. With that being said, I think that something I've had a hard time wrestling with is the idea that God is not after my activity. He's after my heart. He wants to connect with me here. He wants to connect with the essence of who I am. Because what I pursue, I'm going to create opportunities for. What is in my heart, I'm going to build more of. I'm going to, if my heart is full of love and patience and kindness and goodness, and that is pouring into my work, then that is what's gonna manifest in my work. And I don't know about you, but I like working with patient people. I love working with loving people. I love working with kind people, people who are not gonna make excuses. So I don't care necessarily what they do, but I definitely wanna be around them. So, but this has been such a hard thing for me to really grasp, because I've grown up in the West. I've grown up in the United States, where it's all about more. You gotta do more. You gotta get the next degree. You gotta get the next job. You gotta hang out with this person and learn from them and do what they do, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And it becomes a giant comparison game full of madness. And it's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. It's like whatever I focus on, that's what I'm going to produce more of. Whatever is in my thoughts, that is what is going to continue to manifest and grow in my life. And that's what God is focused on. Does he want me to be successful? Does he want me to have a fulfilled life? Yes. But if I'm not doing it to serve him, if I'm not doing it to build the kingdom, if I'm not doing it to love others, and most importantly, if I'm not doing it as an act of worship to him, what's the point? All of this is going to fade away. No one is going to remember, at the end of my days, no one's going to remember how much money I made or care how much time I worked. And those things are important, but they're not the most important thing. And I can't serve those things and then serve God with purpose and determination and devotion. What you think about, what is in your heart, is the God that you serve, my friend. And for me, it hasn't always been my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. In Colossians 3:23, it says, whatever you do, not that specific thing, but whatever you do it with all your heart unto the Lord, as if you're working for the Lord himself, not for human masters, not for some oblivious goal or some way to increase your storehouse or put more money in the bank account. Let your why be done in accordance to a heart of service and worship unto God. And I gotta tell you, man, whenever I do that, whenever my heart is positioned that way and I'm looking up and I'm not getting caught up in my own pride, my own control issues, my own ego, everything else begins to fall in place as he has designed it to be. So, yeah. Do I know what I want to do? I guess I do. I want to give him glory. And whatever I do in life, I want to make sure that I'm doing it to the best of my ability with excellence unto him. So my friend, if that is inspiring to you, if that frees you up so you're not hung up with trying to figure out what to do in life and what's the next step, just focus on him. He will guide your steps. He will determine your ways. He'll be a lamp unto your feet and a light into your path. And everything's going to fall into place, and you're going to have a life that is a life that glorifies him and sets other people on fire and motivates and sets people free, my friend. So anyways, my friend, take care. Comment below. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if there's any other types of videos, and whether they're entertainment or value-based or Christian, I just want to make sure that it's glorifying God and sets you free, my friend. So this is Jensen signing off.